Yes. I'm ecstatic. I'm really excited.
Yeah, what else can you tell us? We know he's a sharpshooter, but what else does Jazz Nation need to know about Matt?
You know, just a great overall human being. Obviously, I'm smiling talking about it. Me and Matt, lived across the hall from each other in college for three years. It was a fun experience. Matt's a great guy, a great person. Obviously, he's a great player. He helped me out a lot in college with when I did pass the ball. He was making a lot of shots. Obviously, you guys will get to see him. He has Jazz DNA. He's a great person. He can really shoot the ball, and I think the way we play really fits his game.
Andy Larson, Salt Lake Tribune.
So I'm curious on this because there were kind of the criticism of Matt, and I hate to bring it up in the initial press conference, but was that he wasn't playing defense well enough for Nick Nurse up in Toronto. And I think Quinn has kind of this history of kind of coaching guys up defensively, whether it's Joe, whether heck even you. I mean, there's this kind of history of player improvement on that end. Do you think kind of Matt that is true, and how can this coaching staff kind of make an impact on Matt's career?
Every team has different defensive schemes. Obviously, when you play for the Jazz, you kind of have I don't know how you want to say this, but the cheat code with Rudy Gobert behind you. So it's, Rudy allows us to pressure up into the ball and force guys to the rim. And, as long as you can stay on your guy's hip or semi in front, it's almost like good luck. I'm not worried about Matt's defense. Obviously, Nick Nurse's defensive schemes are different than ours. And I think there's going to be a learning curve, where Matt obviously picks up things pretty quick. But he'll learn our defensive schemes and how to stay out of different areas that would cause him trouble and play to his strengths. I think that's the biggest thing. And when I sit down with Coach Quinn is, he's always focusing on, all right, what can you do to maximize your strengths on the defensive end? Obviously, I have size, bigger than guys that I guard. So where can we maximize that? And I think that's important in a head coach to address those things. So I'm not worried about his defense at all. He keeps himself in really good shape. And he does a great job of pressuring the ball. And I think when you have, like I said, the cheat code, the safety valve, the lifesaver back there, Rudy Gobert, it's a totally different game.
Ryan Miller, KSL.
So what was your reaction when you first found out about the trade, and have you talked to him?
So I was shooting yesterday, and Dennis usually walks, with his mask on, walks around the gym, and he stopped at my hoop, and I immediately in my head, I was like, oh shoot, what is happening right now? Like, why is he at my hoop? Like, am I gone? And then he asked me, he was like, what do you think about Matt Thomas? And I was like, oh, I love Matt Thomas. He's the best. And then he was like, well, he's your new teammate. And I was like, oh, I was ecstatic. I think I hurried up my workout and got on the phone, FaceTimed him. And we were talking for a little bit, and he was packing his stuff up, getting ready to come out here. Obviously when you get a college buddy to come in and experience things that you guys talked about on your apartment couch about making it to the next level, it's pretty surreal and awesome that we get to, live it together with such a great organization in such a cool city.
Eric Walden, Salt Lake Tribune.
George, I'll break the trend and ask you a non-Matt Thomas question. You guys are facing the Grizzlies back-to-back tonight, tomorrow, 3 times in, span of 4 games. Just what kind of challenge is it to, see a team that many times in such a short amount of days?
It's a real challenge because you're not going to be able to stick to just one game plan of beating that team. The way we guard them tonight is going to be different than the way we guard them tomorrow, because teams are smart. I mean, if you guys haven't seen in the last 12 games, we kind of hit the point where teams are making adjustments on how to guard us and how we're guarding them. And, we had to adapt to that. And I think we're meeting that curve and finding ways that we can beat teams with the way they're changing how they're defending us and how we should defend them. So it's going to be different. The way we play them tonight is going to be different the way we play them tomorrow, and then when we go down to Memphis. But one thing Memphis does is they play hard, and they're probably the hardest playing team in the NBA. They have a bunch of hungry guys, and they really get after it.
Ben Anderson, KSLSports.com.
George, what were those shooting battles with Matt like at Iowa State, and how does he stack up with you and now Joe and Boyan?
Yeah, good question, Ben. I will be honest; they never stacked up pretty well for me. He can really shoot that thing, and I would love to see him go up against Joe and Boyan. Joe's 50% though, and Joe's trash talking can take someone else's percentage down about 7%. So we'll see how that goes. But I think it'll be interesting to see those guys shoot. Matt can really shoot it, but we have some great shooters on this team.
Follow up from Kristen Kenny.
George, you've spent a lot of time with Alex Jensen. What does it mean that he wants to stay with you guys? He believes in what you guys can do.
It really means a lot to me selfishly. Obviously, being a head coach is something I'm sure Alex, Coach Jensen really wants. But he's been instrumental in my development here with the Jazz. He's always pulled me to the side and helped me grow as a player and as a man. And I think his value to this team is unmeasurable. The things that he does, on the court, off the court, and just keeping a calming way about him for us to get out there and execute. He's really valuable to me and our team. And I'm super thankful that he found it valuable for him and his career to stay here and see this out and help us achieve our goal of winning a championship.
All right, that's it. Thank you, George.
Thank you.